Yo, what's up, everybody? I'm Bob Walters. He's Brett Grasso. We are here, Knicks post-game show. Brett, it was a disaster. The Knicks came in up, all the confidence in the world, up 2-0. People were talking finals. We were talking sweep. And now, because of the blowout, a no-show by the Knicks, we are at 2-1. And now all confidence and all hope is lost.
All hope is not lost, Bob. All hope cannot be lost because we all went in with this as the Knicks. We got this. We're coming home. We're going to win. We went with the confidence, right?
Yeah.
I don't think there's many people who didn't think we were going to drop this game. Like there were, I truly believe that like when you're a 5.5 or 6 point dog at home, if they're winning the first two, Vegas isn't wrong that many times. And you're not going to come back from 20 3 times in a row versus defending champs.
No, hey, listen, you can't give it. All depends on the Celtics. They're a better team, right? They're a better team, and they've blown the Knicks out all 3 games this series. If you really want to be tell the truth about it. Yeah,
no, you're right. You're right, and they stopped doing what they could do. They were shooting what 25% from 25 of 100 through 2 games from 3, and then when you step up, the Knicks are never going to win a game if the Celtics shoot 20 of 40 from 3.
You're right.
If they shoot 50%, Knicks have 0 shot. So I don't know if that's a defensive strategy that's to stop them or if you just have to wait to see if they go cold. Because all year they didn't go cold. This is the first time they went cold 2 games in a row.
Yeah.
And so do you think they're going to go cold again? I don't know.
And when the Celtics do shoot 25 of 100, right, in 2 games, the Knicks are win 2 games by a combined, 4 points? 5 points. Yeah. So, I mean, that's the difference here, folks. That's the difference in the talent-wise. The Knicks cannot win this game cannot win this series without the Celtics' help, I don't think. They need the Celtics' help. They need the Celtics to almost lose the series for the Knicks to win. And I said that the last couple of days. I said, listen, the Celtics just have to figure out how to keep the lead. The Knicks also got to figure out how to start these games, Brett. They can't be falling down 15 points in the first quarter of these games and hope to come back. The game's over in the first quarter.
No, I know. And that's where it can't be because you're not going to expect to come back versus these teams. Because even if they shot 30% from 3 and not 50%, the Knicks would still lose by having such a deficit. Like it's really that bad. Like the Knicks were so close to losing those games, even though the Celtics shot the worst they've shot all season. And they had so now you have to realize the Knicks also have to do themselves a favor. Now you're right. Yes, the Celtics have to lose, but that's not even enough. The Celtics losing and shooting 25% and not playing their game and having an awful game is not going to get enough for a Knicks victory. The Knicks actually then also they have to produce a little bit, and these guys got to step up. And you saw someone's got to step up in the fourth quarter because today you saw it from nobody. I'm sorry, right from the jump. They're clanking those little mid-range shots. They're trying to get inside, and they won't let them inside. And the Celtics are saying, go for it. Shoot your threes, guys. Shoot your hearts out. Do what we did. And guess what? They were right. That's their game. Go for it.
The Knicks have played good. They've only played well in maybe a total of 3 quarters this whole series. And were we fooled? Were we fooled by this Knicks start? Is it now long shot that the Knicks win the series? Because still 92% of teams that open 2-0 win series.
You can play with grit. Tibbs never does anybody any favors. He was holding on like they were going to come back until the last 2 minutes of that game. And so everybody's playing in that game up until, 4 minutes left. And so you really should have, taken your foot. And you saw the Celtics weren't. And so Mazzulla is not taking his guys out of the game. And even though he knew they had that game in hand, this wasn't like a Knicks might come back situation.
No, it was over the first quarter.
That was for the showing them that, look, you may have got the first 2 games, but this is what we can do. And don't stop. You saw they defended hard, even when they were up by 28 with 3 minutes left.
They were doing the hack of Mitchell Robinson at up 25 in the third quarter.
No, and they made a point to do that. So, and I think Tibbs should have backed off earlier and let them do their thing because let them, they're not going to tire themselves out as much, but the Knicks need to be healthy. You know what I mean? The only chance they have of going out there. And so them risking, one of those rolled ankles or anyone, even one of the role players, forget about if it's Brunson. God forbid it's Brunson. But any one of the role players down, the Knicks need all hands on deck. They need everybody. If they have to go out and worry about their bench, because the Celtics proved their bench, guess what? Who do you think scored the most for the Celtics today? You think it was Tatum? You think it was Brown? You think it was... Yeah, exactly. And that's what the Knicks have to worry about is the depth.
That's why they're better
so guess
team,
what?
Brett.
Maybe somebody else isn't there.
He's
this
the sixth
team
man of the year. He can hit threes. You can't leave him open. The Knicks played terrible defense today. They didn't guard the perimeter because they probably just assumed, okay, the Celtics can't shoot threes now. Let's guard the perimeter. And you know what else? What else pissed me off about this is that you got this crowd in there. New York was hyped for this game, pumped up, big time money to get in the building, and the crowd never got off it. They never got on its feet because once the game started. The game was the Knicks were down 10 in the blink of an eye, and then it was 15, and it never got started. You never let the crowd get into this game, and that's a big thing. The Garden's a magical place when it rocks in the playoffs.
It was,
and it wasn't.
I don't
tonight.
know. I don't know if it's the point where I knew the game was over, or if I give them a little credit. And it's very early in this game. It's when Mitchell Robinson airballs the three, and they get down on him, and that's not the moment. The moment is when he comes up for his free throws on the next time.
God, his free throws. Give me a break. He can't even hit the net.
So he airballs the first one.
But
he airballs it. But they give him the classic, our new thing that we're doing all around sports. We're going to like hype him up and like cheer to try and give him something. And so he comes up and he makes a
Bronx cheer they're giving him.
No, it's ridiculous. So he misses the front end, and then they cheer him on the back end. I go, that's the moment. I go, this game's over already. I was like, this crowd is like grasping onto a Mitchell Robinson free throw for something to be excited about right now. I was like, we're in big trouble. And there was just, you're right, no energy in the building. People were paying $1,000 to leave early because it's a nice day in New York, and you don't want to miss that either. You already had a bad day staying in the Garden. You got to leave early to catch the sunshine in New York.
It was the same game as games 1 and 2, except ridiculous. The Celtics didn't collapse. The Knicks didn't play great in games 1 and 2. Yeah, they hit the clutch. The last 2 minutes, they had clutch shots. But the Celtics were just missing everything down the stretch. Everything. And when they don't score when they don't score for 7 minutes, you can come back from a 20-point deficit without playing, great. They hit clutch shots. They played well. I'll give them credit for that. But the Knicks have been dominated in this series. And I mean, is it the Knicks obviously have to win. You don't even have to discuss this. They obviously have to win Game 4, right? You can't go back to Boston 2-2 and expect to win 2 out of 3.
No. And that's why you're like, and the same. This is before the series even started. It's the same thing. We look at it like so differently. Of like you're like, no, but look in the series. If the Knicks, same as every game, the Knicks have to win the next game of all these games. There's never a game coming in this series where the Knicks don't have to win it. And as much as that stinks, like there's never going to be if the Knicks are up 3 games, we feel good about it. There is not a moment the Knicks feel good about this, or any Knicks fan feels good about it, until it's the fourth quarter with 2 minutes left of the game where you're going to clinch and it's like out of hand. That other than that, I do not feel confident until the buzzer sounds. I don't.
Yeah. No, it's a disaster. It really is. Today was a disaster. And you know what? Aren't you glad you didn't pay $800 to go see that? You got to feel bad for some people. And you know what? It's the real Knicks fans priced out. Good thing there wasn't real Knicks fans there, because what a disaster. You don't want to be there and then watch that for $800, $900 to stand around.
I go. Most likely that we even talked about it. We kind of joked, and we were actually talking about like, I think the Knicks might win. They're going to come out hot. But at the end, we joked last time of most likely you're going to pay $1,000 and the Knicks are going to lose by 20.
Yeah.
And no, because we've seen this how many times. It's like now is the time where everybody bet the Knicks this time. They flooded FanDuel with Knicks are going to cover by 6. Oh my God, they're getting points, and everybody bet the Knicks, but they probably missed it game 1 and 2 because nobody expected it. And so now all of a sudden you lose. You pay the money for the tickets.
And
you pay the big bets. you miss a nice, beautiful day in New York. It's the trifecta.
They played terrible defense. They played terrible defense. The Celtics hit their threes 50%. Like just what we said, 50%. They still shot the 43s. Now, I don't know why. Like I said last time, I don't know why they don't go into the paint more. But this is who they are, right? They're gonna live and die by the 3. It is what it is. The Celtics just shoot threes. They won a championship like this last year. This is what they do. The Knicks they were wide open, Brett. I mean, I get it. Tatum was hitting some from 5-6 feet, and Pritchard was hitting long ones. But you got to get a guy out there. Brunson wasn't cut on the screens.
No,
wide open. They're gonna hit these shots wide open.
There's a difference between daring them to take it and not defending. You know, like it's one thing to say, "Oh, we're okay with you taking that. If that we'll take that shot." You still got to get a guy up on him. Just because, you know, you're saying, "Oh, we're going to protect the pain," or if, you know, that's the we're going to let them be, you still got to get there. And they missed it. They watched over and over and over at halftime too of, you know, Cat not getting up on Tatum. You know, and they go, "He's going to get you."
And now, as down as we are now on the Knicks, and as down as I think probably most people are, because it's that's what happens in the playoffs. One game, and like you said, it shifts the whole thing. A good start in Game 4, the Knicks get out to a good start, and they play them even, or they play them, you know, have a slight lead at the end of the first quarter, maybe a 2-point lead, or you're down only 2. The momentum can completely shift in this series right back to the Knicks. Yeah. And you gotta get a good start. Good start is huge. Why? Because you're not playing well at home. You're 1-3. You have a 3-game losing streak at Madison Square Garden, which should be a huge boost for you. And it's not. The Knicks are dreadful there in the playoffs. They lost to the Pistons there. They now lost to the Celtics. They got blown out. The only game they won, they needed that 21-0 run to win the game. Yeah, they haven't played well at the Garden.
It's about 6.5 for Game 4. You know, you're exactly right. Yeah, they need to get. They can't be behind like that. I'm sorry, you cannot be playing the Celtics from behind. They'll no way are they going to let you do what they did last time. They will keep you away. They will keep you they'll toy with you. You'll probably get within 8 points at most if you're down 22. But no way are you coming back.
Well, I mean, that's what we said after Game 1. I'm not going to say no way, but the Knicks aren't good enough. They weren't. The only reason they came back is because the Celtics collapsed. I'm convinced that the Knicks didn't win these games. Yes, they had clutch shots at the end. They get a little credit for that. But as far as letting them back in the game, that's the Celtics. No. They went 6-7 minutes without a bucket, Brett. They're not going to. And the hack of Mitchell Robinson can't shoot.
No, the Knicks are 5 from 25. The Knicks are 5 from 25 from 3. I'm sorry. If the Knicks forget about what the Celtics do, the Knicks have got to shoot better from 3. They have got to find somebody who can be reliable, so they know, just so it draws the defense a little bit somewhere. The defenders they don't care who you go to right now. Go for it. They don't even care. Cat's shooting these long threes over here. Mikal Bridges is always on the run, fading away somewhere to go shoot one. And let me tell you, I'm very happy he got streaky into the fourth quarter of a couple of these games. But I need you to be average, like an average basketball player for the rest of the game. Not just on defense, but on offense.
Yeah, and you got to take advantage of Madison Square Garden. Listen, you have a huge advantage there. This is a magical place. It's the reason why they call it the Mecca, and you got to get this crowd into it. The Celtics played the crowd right out of it, and I also think the ticket prices didn't help the crowd. You know, you don't have the working man's Knicks fan at the game. You know, they're not there.
It's already tough enough on that. They don't really have that. Like,
they don't get that in the regular season either. Those tickets are
outrageous. As much, but you get some because some people get into there, and you're right. And there's people who aren't going to games unless you're kind of into it on a Tuesday night when it's a crappy team without some star player coming into town. But it's all that place would have been electric either way. But you know how it goes. Basketball is all about, if something good was happening for the Knicks, it would have been crazy.
That's what I'm saying, crazy.
But nothing. They never had a shot. There was never a point. I mean, there's a slightest point in
they would never get a win. They were never in the game, Brett.
20 or 18. I don't even know what the number was. I know it was something stupid, but they were actually pretending to be excited about it because the announcers were trying to get it going. But no, people were leaving early. They couldn't even take advantage of having a Nova Nick as a Pope. They could not. It's kind of ridiculous that they weren't able of all these things. Now,
he's the guy, but I mean, listen, Pope. I think Pope Leo shoulders a little bit of blame. The question is, how much blame does Pope? He wasn't at the game. He's a Nova Nick. He's a Nova fan. He's out there doing Sunday. I get he's doing prayers and stuff. We needed a cardinal, Brett. We didn't need a Pope. We needed a cardinal.
No, well, everybody was all there expecting, oh my God, now that he's Pope, no matter what, and here we go. We got this. We got the White Sox. All these teams are going to start doing well. They go, no, you don't understand. He doesn't have time for you guys anymore. He no longer has time. The Pope is busy. The Cardinal's got nothing to do. He's like the supervisor of the local churches. He's got nothing to do, but he goes to the White Sox games, or he's going to go over to the Knicks game. He's got time to pray for the Nova Knicks. Now, well, he got $1.4 billion. He's busy.
Yeah, listen, it's a
Don't
little,
worry about
disappointing.
everybody.
It's a little disappointing that the Pope didn't. I spelled it wrong again. I said Pop.
But you know what's funny is you see the guys. There's a guy in the Brunson Brunson and Pope outfit walking down the street.
They're taking full advantage of it. The sports world is taking full advantage of it.
So we're we. Look at us.
But now getting back to the game.
What we do.
Listen, Brunson, that's a big. He was no-showed. The Knicks no-showed, Brett. They had a chance to take down the champs. They go up 3-0. The series is over. They had a chance to take down the champs, and it wasn't even close. I don't think the Knicks can beat the Celtics, and I'm going to stand by that. I don't think they can beat the Celtics in this series. 4 out of 7.
Do you think it matters that they got blown out as opposed to this was a competitive game?
Yes, because the crowd never got into it. The game was never close. The game was 10 points 4 minutes into the game, Brett. It was 10 points. The game was never in doubt. And I don't want to hear they cheering when they were 20 because they came back.
Like the Celtics being like, you got lucky twice. We know you got lucky twice. Yeah. We're never going to let you get lucky again.
I think the Celtics said to them, we're the champs. We were up 20 in both games. Okay, so we know we could get up 20 easily on this team, right? Because every first quarter, they come out and they lay an egg the first quarter. The Celtics are up 10. Then they're up 20 or 15 at halftime, and then they balloon it back to 20. I think the Celtics know they're better. They know they're better.
We're not going to let that happen again. And we know that it was a fluke. I think they're realizing like that was a fluke what happened in both those games. It's a fluke in one game, and the fact that it happened in the second game, that's like, good for you guys. You're lucky. But this Knicks team, we know them. We know them in the playoffs now. This is a little bit of a different team. I mean, we're talking about, we saw like glimpses of it, of these new guys stepping up. But last year we saw it where we knew we could rely on DiVincenzo, where Hart was a little bit of a different player and played a little bit of a different role.
Mikal Bridges was nowhere to be found today.
Nowhere.
And
Cat with his double-double and a decent amount of rebounds and all that stuff, but he gets into foul trouble like always.
Towns catches bad breaks. He gets hammered on the inside, and he doesn't get foul, and he doesn't get any calls. He gets no
calls.
They haven't been
calling anything anywhere.
He gets no calls. Yeah, I don't know though. He's gotten there was a couple touch fouls that they called on Towns, and then at the other end he got hammered on a couple drives, and he got nothing, no whistle.
But what happens is then after that they shy away from kind of going in that way because they're not. They normally you'd be like, oh, we know we can at least get to the hoop like that. But then you have Mitchell Robinson, who no matter what, they're just gonna they're gonna get him every time he touches the ball. So it's just a tough.
The Knicks had no bench, right? We said the Knicks had no bench. We knew the Knicks had no depth. And it showed tonight. You had the 6th man of the year coming in and being the leading scorer for the Celtics. They listen, the Celtics hit their threes, the Knicks can't beat them. They can't beat them. The Knicks almost need the Celtics to lose and have bad games. They need help. The Knicks are not as good as the Celtics. We all got fooled in games 1 and 2. We all got fooled because we saw the Knicks make clutch shots and big defensive plays at the very end, and we thought that now they're better. They can compete with these guys. Knicks can't compete with the Celtics. Not unless the Celtics let them compete with them. And the Knicks are in trouble now, down 2-1. I think they're in big trouble. I think it's a must-win. You can't lose by 2 points. You can't ever be close on Monday. You have to win the game. You have to go back to Boston up 3-1. Otherwise, you're screwed.
What's the adjustment that they really have to make? Like, what is it? Is it like, and so on defense, like, do they just need to really defend that
cover
three
the perimeter.
Then?
You got to
just let them go inside. And you know what the Celtics are going to do. They're just, they're obviously going to try. Are they going to try and go inside, or are they going to say, no, this is our game? Like, well, the
Knicks got to listen. You need Towns to have a big game. You need Brunson's going to get his points either way. 9 for 21, though. That's not good.
No, Brunson getting his points but having a bad day is a guaranteed Knicks loss.
Listen, Brunson scored 17 and they won. He scored 17 in a win. Right?
Yes,
so he doesn't have to get his points for the Knicks
up in the fourth quarter because he realized Bridges was on fire and he actually gave him the ball. Typically, if Brunson still gets the points, but he misses on every other one, but he still forces it. So you're right, but nobody else stepped up this game. So there was nowhere else to go. And Brunson has a terrible game. And nobody else steps up.
And take advantage of Madison Square Garden. You're at home. Madison Square Garden, it's the Mecca. It's called the Mecca for the reason. The Garden was supposed to be rocking today. It was supposed to be a big, big day at Madison Square Garden. And they couldn't even get the engine going because by 3 minutes into the game, they weren't even in their seats yet. They weren't finished with their first beer yet, and the Knicks are down 10 points.
Freaking terrible.
It's not good. It's not good. And I get it. Listen, you can take a step back and go, listen, deep breath. We're 2-1. We still got a lead. We still have home court.
What do we got to do?
But they were blown out in this game. They've been blown out all 3 games.
I think we got to get back to some 80s and 90s tactics. I think we need to start pulling some fire alarms. We need to send out maybe get the cops to the hotel room of like the Celtics. We need
Send
something.
some hookers
Bob.
over there,
We
right?
need
Send some hookers
Flu,
over there. Do LT.
like Flu in the pizza, like where they eat.
It's not
Bob,
good.
this
I'm
is
telling you.
serious business. We need something, Bob. We need New York to come through for this. It's not just on the Knicks. It's on us. We're New Yorkers, Bob. We got to help.
Is it panic time? I think it's panic time. It's panic time for the Knicks. I think they have to win. Now they have to win.
No. I know when panic time starts. Nobody's in panic time. We're happy we're up 2-1. You better be happy you're up 2-1. There's not a Knicks fan around here that wouldn't be happy you're up 2-1. You know when panic time starts? When you're down 20 in the second quarter of Game 4. That's panic time. And then you're going to find out what you're made of. Do you go down in flames and you lose like it was this game?
Teams
or
don't
you
come back down
like
from down 20. That was flukes.
You're right.
Was flukes.
But if that happens, Bob, I'm telling you, that's the moment Knick fandom panics and the Knicks panic. If they come out and can keep it, I'm talking at half, an 8-point game at half, under 10.
No, you need a lead. You need the lead in game. You need the lead. You can't let them be up 10 at the end of the first quarter.
No, because you know what you can come back from. So 8 is like, oh, we know we're one shot away from it being more or less.
8's fine. There's runs. The NBA is a league of runs.
No, I'm just saying that it can't be 18. At half of game. No, but 8, I can be like, oh, okay. Like I'm telling you, won't be panic at 8. Panic at 18. At half.
Yeah, I listen. I think the Knicks are on the ropes, and I think they have to. You have to find a way to come out in game on Monday night
on the ropes.
and have a lead. These are the Knicks are not as good as the Celtics. They never were as good as the Celtics. We were fooled a little bit.
Play from behind.
They're not going to have these miracle comebacks, and the Celtics are not going to fall apart like they did in games 1 and 2 anymore. No. You're going to have to beat them. You know what you're going to have to do? You got to play old school basketball. Pound inside, go to the hoop, get fouls. Hope they shoot okay from 3 and play good defense, and that's the Knicks' only hope. And winning, you know what you got to do? Win a game in the 90s. That's the Knicks got to play these games in the 90s. You start playing these games at 110, 115, you're not going to beat them. The Knicks got to play old school, pound it inside, get it to the rim, and play the game in the 90s, and you have a chance. But other than that, I think it's Celtics in 6.
I don't like hearing that.
I think that's what I'm telling you. That's what I'm telling you. I think it is. I really do.
That doesn't work. That doesn't work for me. It just doesn't. You know what? I think I think the Knicks don't like that they just got embarrassed. I think the Knicks hopefully don't come out flat in this game 4, and I think that it's a little bit of a tighter game. And I think the Knicks win any game that's tight in this series. That's the gritty team they are. No. The blowouts, the Celtics, when they're going to be the only team who blows somebody out in the series. Only one team's blowing anybody out.
Yeah.
It's the
Knicks got to
Celtics.
play these games in the 90s. They can't play. They can't compete. They can't outscore them.
No, but any tight game, the Knicks. That's who the Knicks are. The Knicks are going to be the gritty. We're going to win a tight game, but they have to keep it a tight game. They got to keep it there. But who are the Knicks,
Brett? The Knicks all year with a big team that scores a ton of points and plays no defense. The 2 games they won in the series, they didn't score a ton of points and they played good defense.
They're a team who's come back all year from big runs, so they're a team who's now, you know what, who maybe they haven't played well versus, but they're versus the best teams in the league, but right now they are. And right now, let me tell you, okay, they have a bad game, get it all out. This isn't college football, Bob. It doesn't matter how much you win by.
0-10. Until the game 1 of this year, they were 0-10 versus better teams than them.
2-1, Bob. 2-1. You're wrong. 2-1. It's gonna be 3-1.
I got another
and
thing
we're
for
gonna
you.
be going into Celtics, and that's the flip. I'm telling you, we're gonna go in 3-1 going into Boston, and they're gonna have all the pressure. And the Knicks, I don't know what it is. They're playing well on the road. You're scared to play the Knicks on the road right now. So the Knicks, sadly enough, you have to steal one at the Garden because we got all the celebrity row and the suits out.
So this is where you're at. That the Knicks have to steal one in Madison Square Garden.
That's the sick part. Because the celebrity row, it's going up into the rafters now. We got the B-list celebrities pushing up to the rafters. They can't even afford 1,000.
Yeah, you know what I don't get either? Like, Tracy Morgan is not around that. Like, he's not in things anymore. And, like, I get Sting, okay. But Tracy Morgan, how does he afford it? That's a $40,000 ticket, $50,000 ticket.
Oh, he's monster money. He don't realize he made monster money.
Is he like a Third Rock producer?
Was
he like
no, you know how he got the
from the
final
car accident?
payout.
From Walmart?
Monster money.
Tracy Morgan's living on a comp check?
He makes listen, he probably invests well. Probably.
Yeah,
good
I guess so.
investor.
Because that's
Don't
a
take
$50,000 seat.
Listen, Bob. Yeah, but if that's all you're into, like you're not into like the stupid, and he probably is anyway.
No,
but
you know what it
like,
is though, Trey, and I don't know if they do this in the playoffs. Celebrity Row is all free tickets, always.
it makes
You
sense.
say you like people like Spike
You gotta,
pays for his
you just gotta
tickets.
stay on. You got to keep
But
yourself up.
You get put on the big screen because if you notice, you go to the Rangers games, you never see Boomer on the big screen because he pays for his tickets. So what they do is they say, "Come to the game." Tracy Morgan and all the people that go to Ranger games, and they put him on the celebrity row, and they have to agree to go on go up on the screen and show that we're there and that it's a place to be and the garden's the spot to be, which it is anyway. I don't know why they do that. I think they can make more money, but that's what it is. So, but I don't know if a game like today is celebrity row is free. It probably still is though.
I'm sure it is, but they're probably offering money, and Dolan's not going to say no.
No, but you get
money.
other celebrities now coming that want to come to the game, and like Tom Hanks goes,
And
"I want to
they're
go celebrity
offering
row."
money.
He's more than
No.
he's bigger than Tracy Morgan.
But now they probably come in with the like we're going to pay, and now you're like, wait a minute, you have a choice now. I was about to give away like now that they're like $50,000 a seat, like 40 of them, say 40 of those seats. That's all. That's
about
a lot.
40. Yeah.
And say, and all of a
It's the
sudden
one
you go,
side of the court. The other
you go,
side
wait.
is sold.
now they're offering me $50,000 a pop, and you're like, I'm sorry, but there's no celebrity endorsement. What does that even do for the Knicks? Oh yeah, it does. It works.
It makes it seem like the place to be. It's like it's a hot
and they
place.
are
All the
Knicks fans.
celebrities
I
are
will give you
here.
Ben
People care
Stiller,
about stuff like
they're
that.
real Knicks fans, and those guys, whatever.
But
way
here's
they're doing
another
it.
thing. Here's another thing. We talk about how big and how the city is falling in love with this team and they're going all this. During halftime of today's game, and I told you this before the show, I walked to the deli to get a snack or something, right? This is what shirt I'm wearing. It's clearly a Knicks shirt, right? And it's even got Brunson on the back. I had two people. Nobody said, let's go Knicks. It was the halftime of the game, Brett. The game was on. Two people said to me, let's go Mets. And come on, people. I almost stopped and said, come on. Like, what are you doing here? Let's go Mets.
The 11.
Whose jersey
should
is it?
really have
Whose jersey?
set
Who
up
wears
the-
11 on the Mets? Come on.
No, you're right. The 11. No, the 11. I'm saying should have tipped it off where to be Knicks even more. As dumb as it sounds.
During the game, Brunson
New
says
York-
Brunson on the back.
No, that's this. No, that's. I'm saying if you just saw the New York, it's not distinctly Knicks for some reason.
I was embarrassed. I hope that they're not real sports fans at all. I hope they're people who say when they asked today, how'd the Knicks
What
do?
are we talking?
How'd
What
the
are we
Knicks
talking?
do?
Let me put it this way.
How'd the Knicks
Did
do today?
these
They lost
people-
93. They lost 93 to
Okay.
115. I
Now,
hope that's
you
how they
live
answer that
Bob,
question.
You live in Queens. You went out there. There's an array of people who this could have been. So listen to me. If you went over, did these people when they were born and when they were 8 years old, did they know what? Not 8 years old, but did their country have basketball?
Yes. One guy was a white guy outside of a bar, possible regular alcoholic at the bar, right? And the other one
At a bar,
the
didn't know at halftime.
The other guy
At a
was
bar,
outside.
didn't know at halftime.
The other guy was outside a mechanic shop, and I think if you asked him the score and he knew the score, he would have told you that the Knicks lost today 93 to 115. So he didn't know, because as soon as somebody says that, the lowest score first, and it's not tennis or volleyball or something, they don't know what they're talking about.
You wear a lot of Mets gear, and have you seen these people before?
I do wear Mets gear, but not
a lot of Mets gear, right? You're known as
No, I'm not known as the Mets guy, right?
You walk around and you known as like Mets Bob. Like
no, the guy next to me, the guy next door to me flies a flag. Like he flies a Mets flag. He flies a Rangers flag. He's like the sports guy. I don't know if people even watch this show. I know the guy across the street watches the show, and the guy down the block watches the show. Other than that, and they're sports fans. They're also alcoholics, but they're sports fans.
You should go knock on their doors and just see what they say with the shirt.
Oh no, he has a Knicks jersey. He's out there. He's out there
No,
drinking
let's
beers,
just
watching
test
with a Knicks jersey on. He knows what's going on.
Just go knock on the. You got to go start knocking on some doors.
So that's it. Listen, that's it, Brett. That's a wrap on Game 3.
Oh,
and it's a
not it. We're
disappointing.
gonna
The
win
Knicks
this game
can't win at home.
You know my favorite. Remember before the series, you were like you said, you think they're going to luse Game 4. They're going to win Game 4, Bob, and we're going to go into Boston. Having them on the ropes.
I hope I'm wrong. I don't think they can compete. I don't think they've competed once with the Celtics. I think the Celtics lost games 1. They lost game 2. They handed it to the Knicks. The Knicks could a couple clutch shots in the end.
It's gonna be one of those series where the Knicks don't win any games and somehow move on. It's gonna be one of those type of series. It's gonna be real nice. That's the best part, Bob. You're all worried about them like going out and winning a game, and it's not what it is. No, I know, but what I mean is like, about them, being the best team, and they don't need to be the best team. They just need to win the game.
A disaster a disaster at Madison Square, an expensive disaster for a lot of people at Madison Square Garden today. Knicks lose game 3, 115-93. We're now in must-win territory. You go back to Boston 2-2, I don't think you stand a chance. The Celtics are better than the Knicks. The Knicks have to they have to play old school, rough and tough basketball. They have to play the game in the 90s and hope they can somehow squeak out a win. And because you know what? Because Thibodeau's not a rah-rah guy that's going to go into that locker room and give him a speech, and neither is Brunson. Brunson's a lead-by-example type of guy. There's not a Messier in that locker room that's going to go in there and give these guys a speech.
Neither's Cat. No, you're
none of them are.
No,
they're not that kind of locker room.
Or any of it. Josh Hart a little bit. Maybe,
yeah, Josh Hart's a little bit of a goofball, though. They're not going to take him seriously. He's not that kind of guy. He's not a Messier. They don't have a Messier on this team.
No.
And I'm not saying you need one.
You know what?
But they don't have
I
one.
I think that is what this team may be missing the most is, that veteran. I don't want to say that's won a championship before. You know what I mean? Like a guy who's been there before. Like,
listen, they won championships in college, right?
No, I'll give you that, but even forget that one guy who was on the team that's been there for the winning for that clutch moment is DiVincenzo. He was the Golden State Warrior and been there through those championships, and he was a big part of that. That was not in that run of him winning that one championship specifically was, and I'll give you, but I think that's their one piece.
Campaign.
If they keep moving forward. Starting. but I think that's their one piece, and if whatever they're looking for next year is something closer to that. But it means something, and this team, let me tell you, we're in a great spot. I know it doesn't feel like it today, but these Knicks are in a great spot to win Game 4 and to go force a do-or-die game in Boston where we already took 2 games from them. So let's not be sad too long, Knicks. Don't hold your heads down. Let's go. We need to
watch the first 5 minutes. The first 5 minutes of that game on Monday night is going to tell a lot. Knicks down 10, you're in big trouble. Knicks are even, or they need to play well because you got to just assume the Celtics are going to hit their shots, and I don't think the Knicks can win if the Celtics hit their shots. So 115-93 is the final. Hey, listen, go out there Monday night. You're still up 2-1. You still have home court.
7:30.
Prove me wrong.
Square Garden.
Don't forget, guys. Rate, review, and subscribe if wherever you're watching this, whether it be on Facebook, like our Facebook group, whether it be on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you leave us a review and type some comments in already too. Get in there, join the conversation. For Brett Grasso, I'm Bob Walters. Hey, the Mets are winning, right? The Mets winning, Brett?
No, we're losing 3-0.
So it's a bad night all around. For Brett Grasso, I'm Bob Walters from the Brian Gunzel Studios. See ya.